In this video, we're going to talk about two companies that we've talked about a lot on this channel. In fact, last night I talked about one of these companies. We're going to talk about Snapchat because they were down yesterday. At one point after hours, 18% because of what happened with Facebook and Meta just crashing, right? So it just drug Snapchat down. And I talked about Snapchat as a potential risky opportunity that I didn't know was going to be this good, but it's juicy. So we're going to talk about both Amazon skyrocketing after hours and Snapchat going to the moon after hours in this video. So stick around. Hey guys, welcome back to TipRanks. I'm Richard Allen. Thank you so much for joining me for another video. The volatility continues. The major indices were all red, like bright, bloody red today. It was absolutely crazy. So we're going to talk about those numbers, but my goodness, we're going to talk about Amazon skyrocketing, finally telling us what their advertising revenue is. And it was juicy because they're beating out a lot of big companies, nowhere close to where Google is yet, but really beating out a lot of big companies in the space. And then we're going to talk about Snapchat finally providing us with their first profitable quarter ever in skyrocketing after hours. So we're going to look at those numbers as well. Got an exciting video for you guys, so stick around till the end. Let's jump over to TipRanks.com first. I want to show you guys the major indices because it was bloody red day. The S&P 500 down 2.44%, the Dow down 1.45%, and the NASDAQ down 4.22%. But at one point, Snapchat was like the biggest loser of the day, down almost 24% on the day. It wasn't looking good. Everybody was fearing the worst because they reported today after hours. And my goodness, did they shock the world. Snap shares rocket as much as 62%. Like I said, the first quarter that they've ever been profitable this past quarter. When it opened up this morning, it was trading at like 20 some dollars per share, right around 25. It is now trading at almost $40 per share. Did you guys get in on this? Did you jump in and close your eyes and hope for the best? Did anybody? Let me know down in the comments. I would absolutely love to hear your opinion. Early in the morning, we saw the four stocks that I talked about pop a little bit early in the morning. We saw Snapchat, Pinterest, Matterport, Meta were all up a little bit. At one point, Matterport was up like 8 or 9%. Snapchat and Pinterest each like 4 or 5%, and then Meta was up a tiny bit as well. That was expected. I had these little pops, and that's really all I was expecting. I was expecting little bitty pops. I wasn't expecting 62% up at one point. Absolutely bonkers for Snapchat. But let's dig into the numbers and see why they had such a fantastic pop. I think part of it was they had such a dramatic drop going into this morning, but earnings per share, 22 cents adjusted versus 10 cents expected. So huge beat there. A little bit of a beat on revenue as well, 1.3 billion versus 1.2 billion. And global daily active users was a beat as well, where Meta is actually going down in daily active users. Snapchat is going up, probably because all the kids are loving Snapchat and not loving Facebook so much. 319 million daily active users versus 316.9 expected. Average revenue per user was also a big beat, $4.06 per average user versus $3.79 expected. So it was a beat across the board, huge beat for EPS. Nobody was expecting them to do what they did, so it was fantastic that Snapchat did. Are you guys shareholders of Snapchat? Are you believers? There's still a lot of room for this to run where it got during the pandemic. So Snapchat, let's take a peek here at Snapchat over on TipRanks. Let's go to the chart over the past, let's say 3 years, okay? At one point, this was a stock that was well over $80, okay? So it's still being at 40 bucks. It still has a lot of room to go to get to all-time highs. Do you guys think it's going to continue to move? Or just like we thought might happen today, with it falling so much, do you think it's going to fall after this crazy 60% run? I don't know. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Let's jump over. Let's talk about Amazon because they had a fantastic quarter. And like I said, they finally revealed to us what their advertising revenue is, and I was shocked. I didn't think this business was as big as it is for them, but it's a massive. Nowhere near where Alphabet's is and Google, because 80% of their revenue comes from advertising, but this is certainly a number that Amazon can continue to grow, so we're going to dig into those numbers. Amazon popping after hours here, 15% at one point. The stock was up almost 18%, back up to over $3,100 per share. The analysts absolutely love Amazon. I really, really like Amazon. This is a company that I've been talking about a lot this year because they didn't have a fantastic 2021, only up about 4% when the S&P was up over 27. So I think Amazon is going to have a good 2022. I think they just proved that a little bit here. Where Amazon is at right now, they're still down about 8% overall year to date. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind. There's still more room to go. They started the year at about $3,400 per share. I still think they need to announce a stock split. Google did that and the stock popped the next day. But let's jump into the numbers, okay? Amazon finally releasing their advertising business is worth $31 billion per year. Let's compare that to Snapchat's total revenue of $4.12 billion in 2021. Pinterest full year revenue of $2.58 billion. Both of those companies heavily relying on advertising revenue. Google's, however, $150 billion. Again, 80% of all the revenue from Alphabet comes from advertising. So there's a lot of room for Amazon to start eking away and ripping away at that advertising revenue from Google. But Microsoft, they're beating Microsoft as well. Microsoft only has about $10 billion in advertising revenue, where Amazon is now over $31 billion. So it's fantastic to see that they're tripling what Microsoft does. I think this is a business that will continue to grow for Amazon, but that was one of the reasons why Amazon popped at one point, like I said, 18% after hours. But let's dig into the other numbers here for Amazon. EPS, $5.80 versus $3.57 expected. So a huge beat there for earnings per share. Revenue came in at 137.4 versus 137.6. So a little bit of a decline there for revenue, but AWS revenue also came in as a little bit of a beat there. It was really the advertising revenue for Amazon that really pushed them over the edge and got people talking, shooting them up to over 14% after hours. Are you guys holding Amazon? Were you excited for the dip here? Did you buy the dip year to date? Let me know. I've been talking about it a lot on this channel. I really think Amazon, like I said, still down 8% year to date. Even after this big jump, I still think it's a big opportunity for Amazon. I'm hoping they do a stock split like Google just announced. But what do you guys think? I always want to hear your opinion down in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me for another video. I'm sorry I'm posting so late, but I got distracted. Tom Nash interviewed Meet Kevin. I don't know if you guys know any of the drama going on with Meet Kevin lately, but a lot of crazy stuff going on with Meet Kevin. And Tom Nash just joined our team here on TipRanks. Fantastic analyst. Absolutely love his videos. So he just posted a fantastic video with Meet Kevin. I would encourage any of you guys to go over to his channel and watch it. It's a little long, but it's absolutely fantastic. So guys, thank you so much for joining me for another video. As always, if you learned something new or found any value in this video at all, let me know by hitting that like button and that subscribe button down below. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.